England is sick. We're the cure. The American Dental Association. Nottingham, which is a book that I think it's been around a while. If I go forward here, I think it's a few years old by now. Where does it say? 20. Okay, 3. Okay, it's not that old. 2021. I mean, 3 years late is actually quite good for me. But I always wanted to check this out. I'm a big Robin Hood fan. Anything I read, Robin Hood books when I was younger. I loved Robin Hood films. So, all right, let's get into this. I didn't read anything about it. I knew nothing about the take or what it was going to be or anything. But first issue, yeah, I'm like, okay, I'm good for this. Let's keep going. It's interesting. It's sort of like the language is more modern than what you would expect from Robin Hood, but it is all, it's set in the period and everything. So, and yeah, the art's really cool. It's this stylized caricatures. Like you can see like that's everything's a bit exaggerated there. And then straight away, you're like, oh, this is a bit more extreme than what I remember about Robin Hood. So straight away, England is sick. We are the cure. And yeah, his this guy in the mask is, kills this guy in Loxley, kills another one in Edwinstowe, and he's taking the coins, steal from the rich, give to the poor, all that stuff. In Nottingham. And yeah, they're like cleansing the land of tax collectors essentially. And in this Robin Hood, you've got Richard the Lionheart is away on the Crusades, and Prince John is taxing everyone. Most says England is sick. We're the cure. The American Dental Association. Very good. You can see it in there too. They've got a bit of the great book of British smiles, and he's got a big, nice smile on him. And yeah, so very brutal. All right, that's cool. We like that. He's killing another tax collector here. Yeah, and of course, England's most contemptible fiends, the tax collectors. So straight away, all right, it's a bit more of a violent take. And at this point, I'm wondering, is this going to be a flip? Is it going to be like the sheriff is the good guy that we're sort of sympathetic with, and the merry men are kind of like a terrorist group, which is one interpretation of it, I suppose you could have. But I don't know quite yet. This is just like the first few pages of the first book. But here we meet Sheriff Blackthorn, which I don't even remember the name of the sheriff, if that was the thing. But in this one, he's called Ev Blackthorn. And Alan Dale, I remember Dale is his sort of second in command. Dang, they really don't like those horses. Yeah, that's the thing. It's sort of a bit like an investigation. So he's acting like an actual kind of like a modern sheriff. He's coming in to do an investigation of the crime scene. It's very much like CSI Nottingham. And you quite like him straight away. He's sort of this brooding figure, and he doesn't seem like he's a bad guy like he's being presented. He might very well turn out to be. I don't know. This is just like the first issue, but he just seemed earnest and sincere in what he's doing. He's trying to capture people who are out murdering, government officials or monarch officials or whatever they are. Anyway, he finds this piece of red hair on the dead guy, and he's like, I wonder where this could be. And this attack happened right on the road to Nottingham Castle, where the lady is. And straight away, so you've got Lady Marian, Maid Marian, that's Robin, and then that's Guy of Gisborne there. So I mean, it's like everything you know about Robin Hood is in here. A bit of a, and like I said, it all looks, like it's period. The only thing that is slightly different is they do kind of talk a bit more modern. That's sort of the only sort of modern take I kind of gleaned from it. Anyway, he interrogates her and is like, so you were banging the victim? I like this thing. She's like, men always thinking with their, and she grabs him right in the junk. So it is a bit forward. Ginger, the culprit. Yes. Well, that's why he went to it, because he's like, what did he say? He said that we found a strand of stray red hairs on the body. they don't just fall idly from a head so pretty as yours, do they? No, that requires more vigorous activity. And she calls him out on them. It turns out that she was actually banging the guy. He was right in his assumption. And I'll fast forward here. So then they like she blames who does she blame? She blames the driver of the horse and carriage thing. So he goes on, they go on a rampage. It's a really nice art here. Like that's really, you gotta like that. That's really cool. They go on a bit of a rampage, you know, just interrogating every ginger in the county. You always blame the redhead, right? Women be evil. Yeah. So, but it turns out actually they do find one of the merry men, and it's not this guy here. It's his brother who, I like this what they did here. They put the sound effects at the bottom of the page, clunk, slick, slap. And then the very next page at the top, you see what it was. That's cool. I've never seen that before. So that's Will Scarlet there. So he's like running off, and they capture him. The sheriff does. So as I'm saying, like they're sort of showing it from the sheriff's perspective. So I don't know exactly if that's where it's headed. But he seems a much more sympathetic character. Look at that great art. That's a really nice page. Man, there's a lot of ginger hate out there in the world. What is your feeling on that? Should the language match the time period? No, not necessarily. If it's done well, go for it. And I think this is done well. It didn't bother me at all. You know, I know that they did that with the Knight's Tale movie, you know, that old one with Heath Ledger. And it kind of irked me a little at the start, but then I sort of, whatever. What really irked me in that movie was the music. That freaked me out a little bit. But anyway, no, it works. It works. Anyway, they try to torture Will, but he's not budging. And they're like, give it time, he'll break. And then meanwhile, yeah, so now we get to see that now here's Robin in his mask. And him and Marion are like scheming, and she has grand plans, and it doesn't feel very virtuous. And I don't know yet, but that's just how it comes across. They come across to me as schemers and villains. So this is why I do think it is this kind of inverted take on the tale, but I'm not quite sure yet. I mean, surely with Prince John, you know, taking everyone's money and taxes, there is an argument to be made that, you know, some sort of, it wasn't like it was, you know, everything was above the law. Everything was just, you know, on the straight and narrow back then. So, but I don't know. They didn't give you enough yet to work it through. But essentially, you know, no honor among thieves. He says now that Will has been captured, he can't risk having his identity revealed, because in this story, he's still a lord, you know, he's still Robin of Locksley. So he doesn't want to have his identity revealed. So I'm going to leave it there. I'm not going to say what he's going to do, but essentially is like Will Scarlet will need to be dealt with, essentially. And I don't know, these masks, they look really menacing. So yeah, I do think I'm interested to see in the next couple of books if that's where it's headed. It's going to be like a inverse take on it, but I like it. And the fact that it's called Nottingham, you know, after the sheriff, it's sort of like that, you know, what they did with Karate Kid, where they made what's his face, not Daniel, Johnny the good guy, and Daniel was the villain. So yeah, Robin Hood standing on business. Exactly. Schemes and scams, Friar Fudge. We haven't seen Friar Tuck yet, but really good. Looking forward to it. Like I said, I think there's been a new volume of it. I don't remember how many issues are in this one, but I'll give them a read and I'll let you know how they are. But in the meantime, you can go check them out on Global.